Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Alice Taylor. Today we're going to investigate the mystery of the missing chocolate bar. Last night Simon was watching TV. He'd bought a chocolate bar to eat after the show. Simon decided to save the chocolate bar for the next day.
Now for some local scary news.
Simon put the chocolate safely in the fridge. When he came downstairs in the morning, the chocolate bar had disappeared. We'll start the investigation in the kitchen. No one witnessed the mysterious event. It could be a crime, or it might be a supernatural event. Who or what took the chocolate bar?
It was you.
We must examine the evidence. I looked for fingerprints, but could find none. Maybe the thief had worn gloves. So I decided to interview our main suspect.
You think it was me? I can't be a suspect. I was at home.
You came back and stole it.
Can you provide any proof of that?
If it wasn't Courtney, then perhaps it was aliens. Maybe they came in through.
Alice, look what I found in your room. Strange, isn't it?
Where was this?
Under your desk.
That's an important clue. There's only one explanation for it, so it must be the truth.
It was you.
Simon was sleepwalking. He went downstairs and ate the chocolate bar. And then he hid the wrapper under my desk while I was asleep. That must be it. We've managed to discover the truth, but the truth is too much for some people. Join us next week for more strange mysteries.
Modal verbs, deducing and speculating. We use may, might, and could when we speculate about something we think is possible. These modal verbs mean the same thing in positive sentences. We use may and might in negative sentences, but we don't use could in a negative sentence. We use might and could when we want to speculate in questions. We don't use may in these types of questions. Here's a reminder about when to use the different modal verbs for speculation. We use must and can't to make deductions. We use must when we think that something is true. And we use can't when we think that something isn't true. Watch out! We don't use mustn't in sentences about speculation or deduction.
Unit 8, page 95. Exercises 7 and 8.
Hey, Jack. Look at this photo. It's amazing, isn't it?
Let me see. I'm not sure.
What do you mean? I think this is proof that it really exists. It's definitely some kind of big cat. A panther, maybe. There's no doubt about it.
A big cat? I'm sorry, but I think that's impossible. Big cats live in Asia or Africa, South America maybe, but not in England. It's clearly a dog. There's no other possibility.
I know big cats don't live here naturally, but there are other explanations.
Like what?
Maybe it escaped from a zoo. I think that's quite likely, really.
Leia, it's a dog.
No, it isn't. It's definitely not a dog. Look at the tail. A dog's tail is much shorter than that.
Let me see the photo again. I'm not sure about the tail. And also the photo isn't very clear. Maybe someone took the photo to make it look bigger.
No way!
Unit 8, page 96. Exercise 2.
The Adventure of the Dancing Men. Here is an unexplained mystery, said Holmes, giving me a piece of paper. What do you think of it? On the paper, there was a simple picture, a row of dancing men. It looked like this. Surely it must be a child's drawing, I said. What else could it be? That is what Mr. Hilton Cubbett from Norfolk wants to know, replied Holmes. He is very worried about the drawing. He is coming here today. Just then there was a knock at the door, and a tall, red-faced man entered. Before he had sat down, he noticed the piece of paper. What do you think of it, Mr. Holmes? It might be a childish joke, said Holmes. Why do you think it is important? It can't be a joke. When my wife saw the drawing, she was terrified, Mr. Cubbett said. And she is still frightened. I can see it in her eyes. That's why I want to solve the mystery. It's an unusual case, said Holmes. Please, tell us everything, from the beginning. Last year, I got married to an American woman called Elsie Patrick. The visitor began. I had met her a month earlier, and we had fallen in love. A few days before our wedding, Elsie talked to me about her past. Before she came to London, she had known some very unpleasant people in her life, even though she had not done anything wrong personally. She wanted to forget about her past and start again. I promised not to ask about these painful memories. We've been happily married for a year now. However, the trouble started about a month ago, when Elsie received a letter from America. As soon as she had read it, she threw it in the fire. She said nothing about the letter, and I did not ask about it, because I had promised not to question her. Then, yesterday, I found a piece of paper in the garden. When I showed it to Elsie, she fell to the ground, unconscious. I decided to send the piece of paper to you at once. Can you help, Mr. Holmes? I may be able to, Holmes replied.
Past perfect.
When I got to the canteen, the other students had eaten all the food. I felt hungry all afternoon because I hadn't had lunch. I felt better after I'd eaten some chocolate.
We use the past perfect to talk about an event in the past which happened before another event in the past.
When I got to the canteen, the other students had eaten all the food.
We form the past perfect with had and the past participle of the verb. There are full forms and contractions of the past perfect. We form the negative of the past perfect with hadn't and the past participle of the verb. To form past perfect questions, we move had before the subject. We make positive short answers with had, and we make negative short answers with hadn't.
Unit 8, page 97. Exercise 10.
When Sherlock Holmes investigates the scene, he finds a hole in the wooden frame of the window. Then he goes outside and looks at the garden. There are footprints. It is clear that somebody fired a shot at Mr. Cubbett from the garden. Holmes knows the identity of the man because he has worked out what the dancing men mean. They are a secret code, and Holmes can understand it. Using the same code, he sends a message to the man asking him to come to the house. The man obeys, only because he thinks the message is from Elsie. The police arrest the man, who is called Mr. Slaney. He tells them the full story, and we finally find out about Elsie's past. Elsie's father was the leader of a gang of criminals in America. He invented the secret code, and everyone in the gang learnt it. Elsie too. Elsie came to England because she wanted to escape from her family's life of crime. But Slaney, who was also in the gang, followed her and sent messages to her using the secret code. Slaney came to the house at night to talk with Elsie, but when Mr. Cubbit saw him, they shot at each other. Mr. Cubbit missed, but Slaney's shot killed Mr. Cubbit.
People have always loved fascinating stories about treasure, about pirates who bury boxes of jewelry on remote islands in the Caribbean. So it's not surprising that in 2010, when rumors appeared on the internet about a box of treasure buried in the Rocky Mountains of the United States, it caused worldwide excitement. This is Forrest Fenn. By 1988, Fenn had already lived an interesting life. He had been a pilot and had set up an art gallery which brought him financial success. But in 1988, he received terrible news from his doctor. He was seriously ill and was going to die. This gave Forrest Fenn the inspiration to do something very unusual. He came up with a plan to bury a treasure chest of valuable objects in the mountains. In fact, Fenn didn't die. Luckily, he recovered. When he had gotten over his illness, he still wanted to carry out his plan. He spent years collecting suitable items to put in the chest. Pieces of gold, jewelry, and rare coins. Eventually, by 2010, it was ready. The contents of the box were worth $2 million. He buried the treasure chest in a secret location in the Rocky Mountains. Fenn started a website and also published a book of stories about his life. There was no map showing where the treasure was buried, but the stories contained various clues to its location. People started to buy the book and take up the challenge. The story went viral. Fenn had hoped that his treasure hunt would inspire people to get off their sofas and lead a more active lifestyle. And it worked. Fenn's treasure became an internet sensation, and people from all over the US joined the search, including experienced investigators. Some people even gave up their jobs to look for the treasure. There were problems too. Some people got into trouble with the police because they searched for the treasure on private land. Other people were caught digging holes in national parks, an illegal activity. And searching for the treasure in the mountains was dangerous. Fenn was asked to call off the search. Some people even said that Fenn's treasure didn't really exist. They claimed that he had made up the whole story. 10 years passed, and still nobody had found the treasure chest. Finally, in June 2020, according to an official announcement on Forrest Fenn's website, somebody had found the treasure. I do not know the person who found it, Fenn wrote, but the clues in my book led him to the exact spot. So, the search is over, and that is the end of the story. Or is it? Fenn did not share the identity of the person who found the treasure. He has never given away the exact location of the chest, and there are no reliable witnesses to the discovery. Some people still have doubts. Was the treasure really found? Did the treasure ever exist? Or was it all just a complex trick?
Thanks for coming with me. I hate going to parties on my own.
Yes, me too.
What are your plans for the summer? Are you going away?
I'm not sure. We might go camping for a week, and I'm pretty sure my cousins are coming to see us for a few days.
Do you get on well with them?
Yes, very well. What about you? Have you got any plans?
I expect I'll go away with my family. We usually go to Spain for 2 weeks at the end of the summer. But before that, I may get a summer job.
Yes, I'd like to work too, but finding a job when you're under 16 is hard. I don't expect I'll find anything.
Oh, well, you never know. What's your friend Andy doing this evening?
Alfie, you mean? No idea. He knows about the party, but it's unlikely he'll turn up.
Why's that?
Long story. I'm going to get a drink. Do you want another one?
Thanks. I'll have a lemonade, please.
Alfie! You got a ticket?
Yes. In fact, I bought 2 tickets.
Hi, Olivia. Great to see you.
So you invited Bianca?
Well, yes, I had to invite someone. I hate going to parties on my own.
That's exactly what Connor said.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, where is Connor? I haven't seen him for ages.
He might be getting a drink.
I don't think so. I can't see him.
Oh, there he is.
And Bianca.
Why did you do that?
What?
Why did you go?
I didn't. I was just breathing.
Yeah, right.
They're certainly getting on really well. So you don't mind then?
Mind what?
I thought you really liked Connor.
He's okay, but he's just a friend.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's the same with Bianca. She's just a friend.
That's what we always say about each other too. You and me.
We're just friends.
Yes, I know we're just friends, but...
Go on.
What do you mean?
You said we're just friends, but what? What were you going to say?
Well, you know...
Unit 8, page 100, exercise 8. Alfie, Olivia, Connor, Bianca,